All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, everybody, welcome on in NorCal Sports Network. That's the way to do it. Giants get back in their winning ways, and let us thank our sponsor of the show, and we'll talk about this game, break it down. We'll have Lou Marston joining us along with Los D. He'll be joining us here as we get going. But first, let us thank Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. You know the drill. You hear it every night. Give Chapman Law Group a call when you need legal advice. And if you've got a personal injury situation, make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call. 415-613-9483. Chapman Law Group. Don't settle with an insurance company before you call Chapman Law Group. All right, everybody. Giants win it tonight behind the stellar pitching of Hayden Birdsong in the rotation, and I like what I see. I like what I saw, and I like what I saw out of the bullpen. Harrison had one. He gave up one big hit, which cost him. But anyway, Lou, welcome on in. Great to see you. Giants win. Giants baseball ways that they won their championships. 3-2. They win it with couple of timely hits, not a lot of hits, but a couple of timely hits, and they win it with pitching and some defense. A beautiful catch out there by Ramos. That was about as snow cone as you can get. That thing was barely hanging in there. Casey Schmidt, I think the show, they watched us last night. Lou, you were out at the ball yard. I said, give Chapman a day off and put Casey at third base occasionally. Give Adames a day off and put Koss at short. These veterans need a day off. Arizona's doing it with their veterans, with their young Jordan Lawler. Look, you got a first-class third baseman. And you know what? He actually came through with a runner in scoring position, Casey Schmidt, tonight. Casey was 1 for 3, I believe, with an RBI and a walk. And he drove in what I think was was that the go-ahead run or the tying run? I can't remember. I'll have to look it up here. But tell us your thoughts as you watch the ball game.
I thought tonight the key thing, control. Hunter, Birdsong came out, looked like a veteran, looked like he'd done it 1,000 times.
No walks.
And again, no walks. And I thought the key was, I've liked him all. Since last year, I thought he just has that stuff. But you can just see he's so confident out there. It's a lot different when you're pitching long relief. When you're starting again, first thing of the year, you're replacing Hicks. Little pressure on him, but he just flowed. It was so well done. Total control. And what I liked is he was probably said, hey, I'm going to be 75 to 85 pitches. He knew that. He did the job, got the W. And that's really that's
last night I said he'd get 60 pitches or 6 innings, and I forgot that he wasn't built up, and I was going to change it to like 4. I thought he might only go like 60 pitches tonight, but they let him go 80. So he was able to get 5 in and got the win. And this man that comes right in, he wants to come in and talk about Hayden Birdsong because he just picked him up in fantasy. And he's giving me the Matumbo. No. There he is. Welcome on in, Los. You picked up Birdsong before I could get to him. A good pickup. He looked good tonight. He's only going to get better as he gets stretched out. This guy's going to give I think he's going to get a lot of quality starts. This guy, he's got such a mix of pitches, and he looks more confident this year to me. What'd you see on the mound tonight?
Yeah, we all loved him. It wasn't just me. Lou loved him. You loved him. And we all were just wondering why this kid wasn't given the opportunity right out of spring training. He earned a starting job. It's weird. Spring training is not what it used to be. Spring training you used to go to camp and you kind of earn jobs, and now it's not so much the case. But I just see a kid that has a lot of composure, and he has just filthy stuff, quite frankly. When I look at pictures, whether it's just a team that I like or whether it's fantasy, I always say it. I use my eyes. Guy has nasty stuff. It's just a matter of, can he control it? And it looks like he can throw all 4 pitches for strike. Now, he got burned tonight on some 0-2 mistakes, and he'll learn from that. He left some curveballs up in the zone that got hit, and I'd like to see him go to his fastball a little bit more on 2 strike counts, because they're not really making solid contact on that. So we've liked this kid on this channel for a long time, and I hope he just runs with this and is a solid number 3, number 4 starter in this rotation.
Los, I have to say, since I'm seeing so much Harrison, does anybody else come up to you and say, hey, are you Kyle? You guys look almost like brothers. Has anybody else ever told you that? Kyle Harrison? Dan?
What's that?
If you take a photo of Kyle, he's obviously not as good looking as Los, but Los and Kyle Harrison look like almost twin brothers a little bit. They have the same structure, the same face, same eyes, everything. Obviously, Los is more successful. Oh yeah,
I don't see that in.
I don't know if I'm more successful. I think I'll still take his paycheck even at minimum wage. All right. But I could be his dad, but hey, I'll take the compliment.
Hey guys, while Dan's taking a break, remember everyone, a little prayers for Dan tomorrow. He's going to be trying to get a new hip. So everyone, make sure you guys have your prayers with Dan. It's not like he's a youngster. He's going to bounce back. But Dan, we just want to wish you good luck tomorrow.
Oh, thanks, Lou. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Had to change the hats there. I saw somebody said change the hats. The Giants passed the Padres. So I moved it around. I moved the A's because I forgot to do that. I haven't been staying up on that. I've been a lot of pain here to get this just walking around. But, this game tonight reminded me a lot of just the championship years. They're staying in games. They're not beating everybody, but they're playing fundamentally sound baseball. Bailey, what can you say about Bailey tonight? Throwing out 2 base runners. He's not the greatest at all behind the plate, but man, that guy is solid. If the other guys can pick him up around the plate, you can afford to keep Bailey in there even if it hits 150. Because he is, think about this. They got Bobby Witt with Camilo Duvall, who has one of the slowest deliveries of all, and he's fixed that. He's done a shuffle, like a quick little shuffle step, and he's getting rid of it quick. And then Bailey, just pop time has got to be just unbelievable.
I was going to mention that might have been the key play of the game. Duvall is slow to the plate, and Witt is really fast, and it had to be a perfect throw and a hell of a tag by Adames getting him on the helmet.
Yeah. I see we get a little bit of from the Bay 408 talking about Chapman better. Nobody said Casey was better than Chapman. What I said is give him a day off now and then so that Chapman can get some rest. He's a 32-year-old vet, and he loves to play every day, but giving a guy a rest is a good thing. And you have a quality backup that can step in, and you don't lose much at all defensively and offensively. I'm not sure what you lose there either on a game-by-game basis. On a regular season 162, Chapman better be better than Schmidt. He's making $25 million a year. He better be.
Right.
He hasn't proven it this year at the plate, and I'm not here calling for Chapman's job. I'm just saying Chapman needs to start coming through with his, production in key situations. So
I think this channel was very, very accurate, all of us, about what we think of Chapman. we thought of him as a superstar fielder.
Yeah.
And we questioned his ability to hit for batting average, and we questioned his ability to hit with runners in scoring position. And I think through 1/3 of the season, I think we're
I don't think this from the Bay 408 serious. I think he's just he's a troller. He looks like to me because he keeps he doesn't. I don't think he knows a lot about baseball.
Only Robert thinks Chapman is a Hall of Famer, offense and defense. So if Robert's not here.
Robert voted 100 times last week for Lamont Wade as the first baseman in the All-Star game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, Hiroku, he's been on it all along. Yeah, I mean, I do think the contract's going to play out poorly. I think Chapman. The way I look at Matt Chapman is this: he's a great leader. He's a guy that obviously people look up to on the team. And he's obviously one of the greatest third basemen of all time, top 10 for sure. I don't know where you put him. I mean, there's, Brooks Robinson, there's Arenado, there's Machado that are, guys that are playing today. There's McMahon's a good third baseman for Colorado. He makes a lot of great plays, but I mean, Chapman is a stellar third baseman. He's a good, solid base runner. He knows the game. He's fundamentally sound. He just doesn't come through much when it counts. He will. I mean, he's not going to – he's going to hit 230, 240. He's going to drive in 70-plus runs. Those are all decent. But for where he hits in the line – I would not have a problem with Matt Chapman if he was hitting seventh. Mm-hmm. If that was your seventh-place hitter and those are his numbers, I say, okay, that's what you expect. But he's your cleanup hitter. Mm-hmm. And you can't have your cleanup hitter hitting 220 and constantly popping out or striking out with runners in scoring position. I mean,
yeah, Dan, I think Chapman, first of all, it was the chat that changed his name, as Roku is saying. You have to earn that to go from Chapman to Chapman, okay, over a couple of seasons. Second of all, I think he was in the right place at the right time. You had a team that needed some kind of upgrade. He was there. Buster's first move, let's sign him. Again, we all talk about too many years, but he was in the right place at the right time. You got to remember, last year we got him in late March because nobody else wanted him. The Giants took a chance, and now we're paying for it. I'll just leave it at that. So
yeah. Dallas says pop quiz. I can't look at the box score here. I could pop it up, but I'm not going to cheat. 2 players that didn't get a hit tonight. I know Yaz got a hit. I think Ramos got a hit. I can't remember.
I don't think Lee got a hit, did he?
I think he did. Yeah, Lee did get a hit.
He did get a hit?
Yeah, because he drove in a run.
You got to think the 2 wisest guys for the year. That'll be my one hint for the year.
Bailey and Wade.
There you go. Dan,
let me take a look. Let me take a look at the box score. Tonight's box score might help if I get on the right one. Last night's score was 3-1. Crazy. Yeah. And tonight's score was 3-2. Yep. Let me pull up the box score again here. All right. I got to go all the way back.
And Dan, while you're doing that, I just wanted to ask you a question because I didn't see last night's show. I was coming home from the game and everything. Did you talk about us going against another lefty with junk?
Last night? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We were overmatched again.
I went off on last night. I basically just went off on Chapman and Hicks. I said, I've had enough. Jordan Hicks.
I figured you'd talk about Hicks.
Let me just put this out there again.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
To the Giants organization. If you're somehow listening or somebody's listening that can get this to the Giants organization, look, just because I have a show and I'm not in Major League Baseball doesn't mean I don't know what's going on as much as some of you guys that are actually in the organization, okay? I've been following baseball for over 50 years and played it through high school. I mean, look, this is what you need to do with Jordan Hicks. And if you listen, take my advice, he'll be better for it. The team will be better for it. Put him on the IL and give him some time to rest. He looks like he's got a tired arm. He's thrown 45 innings as a starter. He comes in and he's throwing 98 to only 100 as a one-inning reliever. He's got 103, 104 in him. Let him reset. He's not going to hurt. You're not going to lose anything with him gone for 15 days. Don't tell him, don't pick up a ball for 5 to 7 days. Just rest your arm and then put him a rehab assignment down at Sacramento and let him ramp back up, give him a new reset so he's firing at 103. Okay? That's what you have to do with Hicks. Two things happen when you do that. He's going to get reset. He's going to feel more energized because he's going to get 2 weeks off in May and June, early June. Remember what happened to him last year? You pitched him 80, 90, 100 innings, whatever it was. He only went 110 innings for the season. The last few were as a reliever, and he was shot because you blew his arm out. He had never pitched over 70 innings. He's approaching that. He's already just about halfway to his season last year. Sit him down, and two things again happen. One, he comes back and he looks really good, and you use him in high leverage situations because he's good. And if he does that, he becomes a trade candidate, and you can unload that $11 million contract to somebody who wants him and get something back in return, or you use him in the back of the bullpen because he's helping you. But either way, what he is now, he's not going to help. Last night, he's just throwing straight balls with no movement on him, and hitters are just teeing off.
You know, if the Giants and Posey really want to make a run at this thing and really be taken serious, they have really a surplus of pitching, both in the rotation and in the bullpen, and to just shop around for teams that need pitching and get a bat. Just get a legitimate bat that can drive in runs. You know, 10, 15 plus years ago, Matt Chapman would be pretty close in his career to being strictly a defensive replacement. He really would.
Yeah.
Because a 220, 230 hitter that doesn't drive in runs just wouldn't make an everyday lineup back then. He just wouldn't. And if he would, he'd be, like you said, Dan, he'd be hitting 7th or 8th. But he was here at the right time when they needed a leader, when they needed a professional baseball player that showed up every day, has good habits, and led by example. And he took advantage of it. We all saw it. A lot of fans were so desperate for an everyday player that they thought this guy was a superstar, and he's not. He's not even really a star. He's a good, solid player.
He hasn't made the All-Star team. I think he's made one All-Star team in his career. And look, this comment by Cole says, stop crapping on Hicks, guys. Come on, it's one appearance. One appearance? He had 9 starts, and he had a 6.55 ERA. What are we talking about? He comes in for one appearance, and his ERA goes up. And so, no, Cole, he's not pitching well. And he brought in, the Giants had just got the lead cut to 2-1. They had runners on 2nd and 3rd, and they couldn't get the tying run home, and they were losing momentum. And Melvin sends out Hicks to hold him, and he gives up a run and makes it 3-1. It's like you can't have that. So
hey guys, can we get Hicks back to St. Louis and throw somebody else in? And can we get my boy Herrera at catcher? What a hitting machine.
Wouldn't that be nice? Ivan Herrera, yeah, that guy's a machine. I don't think St. Louis would do that.
I don't think they would do it either. Wishful thinking.
Maybe if you, dang.
Man, he's nice. He can.
I would love to have. Yeah, Bailey's so good behind the plate, but maybe you just DH for Bailey and let the pitcher hit.
Yeah. Why not?
Oh my goodness! I mean, geez. At least he won't get anyway. Wouldn't it be great if you could have 2 DHs? Giants need about 4 or 5.
They do.
Oh gosh. We got another comment in here. 10 starts does not make a good season. Cole not paying attention. Come on, Cole, you're better than that. Come on, you're a big fan. You know what's going on.
Even with Hicks going to the rotation, guys, like, who do you bump out? Like, Rodriguez is pretty nasty in the 6th or 7th. Rogers is pitching well. Walker seems to gotten his stuff together. Doval is throwing well. Miller is throwing well. I mean, I don't know if Hicks, we've talked about it all year. He needs to be in the bullpen. But who is he going to bump out? Because all these guys are pitching better than him. Am I wrong there?
Right. You're right.
I agree. We got a surplus. What do you do when you have a surplus? Make a move.
You got a foul ball last night, didn't you?
Yeah.
We showed it on the air. We're going to show it again, but first,
did you catch a foul ball, Lou?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Lou, we need to see the hand. We need
Good
to
for
see
you.
the thumb. We need to see the thumb and see if it's a match. Let's see the thumb.
What do you mean? Would it be
Is that Lou's thumb, or did you just take a picture of somebody holding the ball?
Oh, that's in my seats.
I know. That was early in the game, right? Just a little pop up that went right over the dugout there.
I didn't catch it like on the thing. It hit it like 2 rows behind, and then boom, right in my hand. So we got lucky.
There you go.
And then one of the girls that was with us last night got one. So, well, what they've done, Dan, the key thing is the netting itself used to come up to the bar. So in other words, I couldn't put my legs underneath the bar because they had the nets. Now they move the nets. Probably they're almost in front of the photographer. So now we actually have a chance. That's why I can take good photos and we can actually get foul balls.
You're still protected. No line drives can hit you.
Yeah, can't hit us. So,
that's cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot better. Just another thing, when you get the squares, it's possible. And if you bring a girl, you're almost guaranteed one of the ball players would throw a ball up. So
there you go. Why, Lou?
Women legs. That's great. And thank you, Mark Graves, for reminding me that all the games I've been to over the years and decades, I still have not gotten a foul ball.
You never caught a foul ball, man. I've caught like 3 or 4.
I've had one. I've had a few close calls, but nothing seems to go in my vicinity. So.
My favorite catch was the one off Davey Lope's bat, and I was sitting behind the home plate. And for whatever reason, I don't know why, I just grabbed a catcher's glove. Man, if that was caught today with a catcher's glove with Kruk and Kipe, I would be a star, because they would have said, he's got a catcher's glove. He brought his catcher's glove and caught it. I don't know why I brought that catcher's glove, because maybe it was because I knew we had seats behind the plate and I was going to pretend like I was the catcher. I don't know. But Davey Lopes hit a screamer right over about this high above the screen. It was just one of those foul tips. And I think it was coming in at about 85, 90 miles an hour. And I just boom, right in the meat of the pocket of that catcher's glove. You could hear the pop on it. And guy behind me, a couple of older guys, they're probably my age, now. And I calling the older guys, but they were like, hey, they were right behind me, and they said, oh, thank you, because it was coming for them. But that was the fun one. The other one was Willie McCovey hit one, and it was just a lazy pop-up behind to the third base side, and it was so soft I was able to catch it barehanded. But
Dan, the one good thing is I have a couple of guys that go out right when the gate opens up. If you go to right field, my buddy, he's the only one there, because everyone goes to the left field, right? Where get more of the stands and everything. Right field, he's there by himself. You just got to make sure who's pitching. So if a giant pitcher is a right-hander, right? Because the Giants hit really early, like 2.5 hours before, and then the visiting team. But you go to right field, there's nobody there. And speaking of crowds, I want to say something. Last night, they said there was 26,000. Complete lie. There was maybe about 12. Tonight, they said 27,000. No way. It was so empty, so I don't know what's going on with the crowd. They're just,
we see what it's like in the weekends. We saw what it was like Sunday. It was beautiful. full
But
crowd.
if anybody wants to go early, go up for batting practice. Instead of going to left field where you got probably 30 people, go to right field, and there's like 2 people for batting practice. Don't worry, you got plenty of room. They have seats there, no problem. Just a recommendation.
Hey, I got to tell you something that I thoroughly enjoyed tonight. The drone shots were amazing of the stadium. Oh my gosh. You see the city skyline behind there with the Bay Bridge and the water, and you're looking at that and you're going, man, this is the type of thing when you watch the Rose Bowl, everybody would move to California, Southern California after the Rose Bowl from back east. Man, you look at those shots tonight, you're going, man, San Francisco, what a beautiful city. What a beautiful ballpark.
When you watch the game tonight, were you watching the Giants broadcast, Kruk and Kai?
Yeah.
So I switched it over to Kansas City's broadcast, and their color guy is Rex Hudler.
He's funny. He's hilarious.
He's hilarious.
Yes.
Oh, he was like saying,
no,
he was like, yeah, he was like, who's this Randy Rodriguez guy? Man, he's filthy. I don't know if we're going to be able to get off of that guy. He was cracking me up.
Oh, I love Rex Hudler. Yeah, that's awesome.
He's a good baseball guy.
Hey, I got something to bring back.
Yeah,
go ahead.
One thing I wanted to bring up tonight too, and I know we'll go over the players of the game, but I think we got to give a little bit credit that Walker has found his stuff again.
Yes.
This is now 4 straight. So, he's been sort of dominating. So I wanted to, if we're going to be all negative and destroy our relievers when they do a bad job, we got to, give them thumbs up when they do a good job.
Absolutely. That's awesome. I'll be right back, guys. Go ahead and carry on.
Yeah. There's really not much to be negative about. We got to give love when love is deserved.
Yep.
I just think this team is on the brink, and I think we all think this way of they're good right now, but if they really want to be taken seriously, if they get a middle of the order bat, and I was thinking one of their bullpen guys, but and I might get some pushback on this from the chat, but I had no idea Robbie Ray was going to be as good as he is right now. His stock is really high right now. And Lou, you know what I feel about stocks, when to buy and when to sell. If they
he's only got 1 year left. So if you trade him, the team that trades him is going to have this year and next year. I have no problem with that, especially with all our youth. And I think we'll get more for him. So
if the chat says, well, who are you going to replace him with? That's always the pushback is, oh, who's going to replace him? Who's going to replace him? Well, you got Kyle, my son, my lookalike, according to Lou, and you got Wisenhunt pitching real well. So is it risky?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, it's risky with Ray pitching the way he is. But that's bold moves, and those are the type of moves that you take risk on. No risk it, no biscuit. Not at all. So call around and see who is available. Yeah. And if there's some haters out there that are willing to be traded for Robbie Ray, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
And let me tell you something, Loach, you bring up a great point, because San Diego and Arizona aren't going to stick with their team. The Dodgers right now are trying to find pitching. Trust me, they got money. They're going to go after pitching, and hitters. The one thing about the Giants is we finally have a surplus of something. It's useless if we have a surplus if we don't use it to our advantage. Let's just put it that way.
No, that's a great point. Our competition in the NFC West, in the National League West, they are going to not sit back and make moves, while the Giants historically do not do anything under Farhan. Okay, Farhan's not here anymore. We can't use that excuse anymore. So this team is very strong pitching and very average hitting. So what do you do to balance your team? Get rid of a little bit of surplus of pitching and make your lineup better. Last time I checked, you have to score more runs than the other team to win. And you can't keep holding teams down 2 or 3 runs all the time, especially on the road. So let's become very good instead of good.
Yes. I agree.
I don't know who's out there. I wish I had an answer for you, but let's just think of some of the teams that are kind of flailing right now, and maybe not. It's still really early, but the White Sox are not really. Luis Robert, he's having a horrible year. Maybe the White Sox want to dump him. And if you're thinking, well, why would we want him? Because a scenery of change has worked for the last 7 to 8 decades of baseball. You ever heard of a guy named Pat Burrell? He sucked in Tampa, came over to the Giants and helped them win a World Series. I think Pat Burrell was hitting about 205 when he came over. Cody Ross was nothing special. Sometimes a change of scenery to a winning organization and a winning team will do wonders. If the White Sox said, we will give you Luis Roberts for Robbie Ray and another pitcher, man, I'm doing that. Like that.
Yes. Yes.
And there's other guys out there maybe that have a little bit better of a pedigree, but Luis Roberts has a nice back of his playing card resume, to be honest.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey guys, I gotta share something with you, and I got a little bag of treats here. Bake that dough.
Cookies. Oh, Loach doesn't know about this.
Yes, I do.
He's had them.
Okay.
He went to Chicago and had. Look at these. This is classic Concha sweet pan dolce cookie with classic pink topping. There you go. Look at these. And we've got here birthday cake. Kids love these. I love them too, to be honest. We got cookies and cream. Okay.
Oh, those are one of
guys,
my favorites.
Dan, that looks so much better than those completes that you used to love and show everybody.
You can have these cookies. Completes. Cinnamon toast. This is going to be, I know, my favorite. I love cinnamon. Cinnamon toast. There it is, baby. My wife had some zebra. I'm having surgery tomorrow, so I don't want to get any sugar. I'm trying to keep my inflammation down so I have a better recovery. But after my surgery, I know I'll be swollen. I'm going to eat these cookies, okay? I'm just going to eat them and eat them and eat them. I think we showed this one. Classic Concha. We got a little bit there. We've got the zebra. Oh, those are in the fridge right now, I think. Yeah, those are awesome.
Zebras are amazing.
Churro. Dude. Cinnamon cookie rolled in cinnamon sugar. Dude.
Those are gonna be your favorite.
That's my favorite right there. Oh, my gosh. Look, there's flavors, guys, and yeah, I have to fast, Dallas. I can't eat anything after midnight, so I got 2 hours. I'm going to probably have down a bunch of water here because I can't even drink after midnight. That sucks. I love water. So, guys, I want you to, if you want some of these cookies, scan this QR code right there. I think it's at Bake That Dough 22. I think that's the Instagram.
Yeah.
But you can scan that code with your QR code. Just put your phone up to it right there. Shoot that. That is Instagram. And you get 20% off your first order. 20% off your first order. All right. Go ahead. And you know who makes these? Aaron. Where'd he go? He was just in there.
He's there.
I know
He's there.
There it is, right there. All right, Aaron. This is him and his wife's company. This professional company. It's got all the ingredients, just like if you bought cookies in a store. These are sold retail in stores, guys. These aren't no just backyard cook. These are awesome. They've got made in a home kitchen. There's the permit number right there, issued in County San Benito. There's the address in Hollister. It tells you contains wheat, eggs, soy, and milk. Gives you all the ingredients right on the back of the label. Guys, you need to get these cookies. I'm just telling you. They've baked as many as 2,000 cookies for events. All right.
Graduation, give a graduation gift, that and an envelope.
Yeah,
and you complete it. A lot of graduations coming along.
Kids aren't the only ones that love cookies. Let me tell you, I concur. They're very addicting. They go great in the morning with your coffee, your milk, whatever. I bought them for some clients of mine, and they loved them. Get on board, get on this train. These are outstanding, and they're the softer cookies. You know, if you like the softer cookies. So.
Woodpit, you can get over there and just get your order. He lives in Hollister too. Okay, so there you guys have it, man. Bake that dough. Aaron, his last name isn't Lost, but it was a joke last year during fantasy, and or something. Maybe it was our football team. Was it our football team at fantasy? I think it was either that or baseball. And I nicknamed him Aaron Lost instead of. Can't remember what his last. Anyway. I can't remember the last name, but I'm got so many names. But guys, go ahead and shoot that QR code right there on the screen, and that gets you 20% off your first order. And you know, you got a party coming up, you got a graduation, you know, order 100 cookies. People will love it. And you guys will really, really enjoy these cookies. These cookies, I have a feeling these cookies are going to get shipped to Arizona. Mark Graves is going to want some of these cookies. I know it. They're going to go to other states because we got people watching in different parts of the country. And go ahead and get those cookies today. All right. That's Bake That Dough. Freshly baked cookies. Senior, get some of those cookies, man. You got to get some of those cookies. I'm telling you.
So does Robert Rothberg.
Robert back in New York. Let's get some of those cookies flying. You know what? I think we got to get a special. We need to get some orange and black cookies, Aaron. Let's call them the San Francisco Giant treats or something. Let's get
one of those cookies has an orange color to it. You just pulled out.
I thought it was pink.
You need them for Orange Friday.
Are they pink or orange?
They're more pink. They look
they're more
orange.
pink.
They look orange in the camera, but they're pink. Yeah, some orange. I think so, the San Francisco Giants cookie, and then football season, obviously the red and gold, and you get the Niner. Get the Niner cookies going. Yeah. You're welcome, Aaron. Thank you. Aaron, big friend of the show, and he's a member. If you two guys can want to be a member, just join the membership. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, get some hey, Aaron, do me a favor. Just no Valkyrie cookies, please. No Valkyrie cookies.
Dan, they'll be playing tomorrow night for you, so you can watch them. Geez. And they're going to be 0-2.
I hope I come out of anesthesia.
Lou, were you out there opening night?
I was not. I was actually at the Giants A's game, seeing 3 home runs in one game. No, in fact, just like I was betting a lot of team totals when they go to Oakland for the first time, I'm betting against the Valkyries until they prove me wrong.
Hey, I'll tell you what, guys. I do, I get down on, let me see if I can find this. If I can find this, I'll share it. It was John Boy. Okay, guys, I am I rip on the WNBA for good reason. Oh, look who pulls up, and it's Angel Reese right up on the screen. Oh, geez. She's horrible.
Was she ever good? Was she ever good?
No, she's just tall and she's just whatever. But I want to share something with you guys. I am not against women's sports. I enjoy certain women's sports. Like I like women's tennis. I think women's tennis is pretty fun to watch.
Dan dated Chris Everett Lloyd back in the day.
In my dreams, I did a lot. Yeah.
You had a crush on her?
I did. She was on my wall in my Sports Illustrated covers. I had the swimsuit editions all on my wall, and then I had Chris Everett. Yeah,
that's better than having Martina. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. That's for darn sure. But guys, I tell you, I kid you not. Women's softball in college is pretty fun to watch. If you've ever watched women's softball, some of these girls are really, really good. Check this out, guys. Watch this.
The best hitter in softball history, Bree Ellis, playing for Arkansas. She leads in everything. She leads in homers in D1. It's the best season ever, basically, in softball history. And in the SEC tournament, second round game against Georgia, they want no part of her. Ball 1, ball 2, ball 3, 3-0 pitch. What are you going to do? Ball 4, there's 2 out. Just let her get first base and deal with the next hitter. No need to worry about Bree Ellis. Okay, bottom 4th. Look what the catcher just did. I'll just get over here. Don't miss your spot at all. 5th pitch she sees is a ball. 6th pitch.
I guess they don't have intentional walk.
7th pitch she sees is a ball. 8th pitch, ball. Other batter's box. No part of her. Wants nothing to do with her. And she's like, all right, fine. I trust my teammates. Bottom of the 6th inning, no outs. Runner on first. Tie game. Are you going to pitch to her now? Maybe. She's gearing up. She thinks so. Come inside. Oh, hits her in the arm. So the 9th pitch she sees. Ball. Well, hit by pitch. Nothing in the strike. Ooh. Oh, no. You okay? No, it hurts really bad. Now she comes up, bottom of the 7th, tie game, bases are loaded. A walk would lose the game. They have to throw strikes. That fan is nervous. You go, oh, okay, but come on, we believe in you. But you got to throw strikes, otherwise you lose. What a predicament. Ball. 10 pitches faced, 10 out of the strike zone. Hasn't swung the bat yet. Hasn't seen a strike yet. First strike she sees, swings the bat. It's a walk-off grand slam. Now it starts to make sense. That's why we weren't pitching to her before. Just like that. The tongue's out, the hands up, the eyes are big.
Watch where this ball lands, guys.
Watch where this First ball strike lands. She sees, swings the bat. Boom. It's a walk-off grand slam. Now it starts to make sense. That's why we weren't pitching to her before. Just like that. The tongue's out, the hands up, the eyes are big. She's excited. Oh, yeah. Bam! Yup. Easy as that. Arkansas wins SEC tournament. They're in bracket play. What'd she say? She says, like, that's why you don't fucking walk me or whatever. I don't know. She's fired up. I did a video like 2 years ago where she got hit by a pitch, then homered and called the pitcher a bitch. She's fiery, and she's really, really, really good.
There you go. I mean, I could watch. I don't know if you ever watch women's softball in the College World Series, guys.
I watched it this past weekend with Arizona, and they had to go to a 7th game. Double, you have to get beaten twice in the regionals. You got to have 2 losses, and unfortunately, Arizona lost. But yeah, I mean, except when I went to U of A, our football team was decent. We just weren't good. The softball team and the hoop team, that's all there was. I mean, the women's team, I think USC and then Arizona have the most national championships for women's softball. So,
Hey guys, back to the Giants. I have a small pet peeve. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, and Lou, you probably could answer this better because you're at most of the games, if not all of them, at home. Jung-Hoo Lee has got to stop when a ball is hit to him, line drive coming in on a ball. He's got to turn his glove up when it's low. He turns it down, and that's not the first time he's dropped one or lost one. When it's coming in low, turn your glove up so you can scoop it up when it's low.
Like a scoop. He's gonna hurt his wrist.
He's got it up like this, and that's when it's body level or up high. But he's got to turn it down when it's low. Did anybody catch that? He's done that like
He's
a
done
few
that
times.
numerous
Yeah, it's
times.
a little odd. It's a little odd. Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's how they taught him. I don't know in Korea, but like it's just common sense in baseball.
Yeah,
If
I've
you're
seen
an
that.
out-
I
if you're an-
agree.
If you're an outfielder,
were you there during the filming of
No,
this? Lou?
that was my senior year in high school. But I knew when I went to go visit them, they did it during the summer. In fact, if you see Revenge of the Nerds, the Adams is what they were known as. You can still see the A's at a lot of places. And like when they first start, that's Old Main, that's still there.
Yeah.
And then when they slept, that was actually the original woman's gym that the guys had to sleep in. Remember, because they
Wow.
didn't have a house. That
Wow.
was the old women's gym, which is still there too. So, and if you notice, with Booger had a shirt called "Home of the EG." That's like
Booger.
their version of the 7-Eleven. The EG is a very famous slush.
Hey,
place.
bottom of the 10th, guys. Dodgers have bases loaded. They're down 3-2. There's one out. You know what? I'll just put the game on right
I'm
now.
ready.
thanks for blowing my Yamamoto win.
Oh, yeah.
I had Yamamoto and Birdsong. I threw 14 shutout innings. I should have 2 wins and 2 quality.
Oh, wait a
starts.
minute. Okay, hold on. 3-3 now. Bottom of the 10th. One out.
Hit batsman with the bases
Man.
loaded.
I'm going to watch this right now. I'm going to put it on my phone. I'll have to turn the volume down. Okay. Fly ball. Center field deep enough. Yep, it's going to score the winning run. There it is. Game over. It's Ohtani from third. 4-3. Dodgers walk it off. Giants could have moved into a first-place tie tonight, right? If the Dodgers had lost.
Arizona's
I
bullpen
blame it to
stinks.
Robert. Robert said this team, everyone's talking about everything, and all of a sudden the Dodgers were losing. Robert keeps talking. Now the Dodgers come back. Thanks.
Yep. Cubs win 14-1.
Would you trade within the division, guys?
Yeah.
Arizona has a horrible bullpen. I mean, what if they start dangling some bats for
Pavin Smith?
Ooh, at first base?
Yep.
Nice. I like that. That's a good call. Pavin Smith for Hicks. Done.
Hicks, there you go.
Done. You want to throw in some minor leaguer? Done. They get a relief pitcher that they desperately need, and we get a first baseman that can actually hit. Win-win.
Yeah. You want to give me McCarthy too? I'll give you Yaz. They're not even playing McCarthy. Yaz is doing all right. I just love the speed. I love the Yaz in right field. I got to admit, I feel very confident with him. Anything hit out there.
Fantastic glove.
Yeah. I mean, like I say, we have, guys, we'll give praise where praise is due. Yaz in the right field corner and Chapman at the hot corner, man, you can't beat that. They are solid. And then Bailey and Lee's really doggone. I mean, Lee gets to balls that you don't think he's going to get to. He just has a knack for, like, the ball's hit and you go, oh, there's no way. And then all of a sudden he's gliding. He's not even like lunging for it. He's just like waiting for it because he gets a really good first jump step, off the bat.
And you know what? Quietly, we didn't talk about this guy as a defensive player at all to start the season. Ramos is playing a nice left field.
At times, he has a few blunders, but he
has a few, but he's getting
yeah, he
better.
makes some diving. He's made some good catches. I'll tell you what I really like, and I don't know if you guys noticed this last night. I'm sure you did, and he's only been playing the position for like 5 to 10 games. I really like seeing Casey at first base because he did drop that pop-up, but the thing about it is when he gets the ball, he's got a ball on a bunt where he threw off balance to the plate to get the runner, tag the runner at the plate. Last night's throw to second base was on the pickoff. They picked him off and he was headed for second. He threw a dime right at the glove where the tag was needed to be. Just a guy that's an infielder that has to throw from third to first and short to first. He's learned how to have, and he's got a cannon. So I love Casey playing first base. In fact, last night when he dropped
Who do you think has a better arm between Casey and Chapman?
Casey.
I do too. Not saying he's a better player, guys. Relax.
Yeah.
Chill. Said he's got a better arm.
Yeah, there's more movement. It's coming. I mean, Casey threw 95 plus as a reliever at San Jose State or San Diego State.
San Diego State. Yeah, he was throwing mid-90s. Yeah, he's got a cannon of an arm.
Yeah.
Now he's the one guy when there's a blowout and you need an everyday player to just mop up and pitch. He might actually be a guy like, I'll pick him up on fantasy. He can give me 3 strikeouts. Nobody will pick him up.
That would be funny. You know, last night when he dropped that pop-up, they gave him an error, and we had a discussion. We won't go into it too much tonight because we don't want to care, but you guys weren't here. I said, what happens if a guy's pitching a perfect game? Because what happened is Salvador Perez went on to strike out right after he dropped that. So no one got on base. What happens if a pitcher got 27 up and 27 down, but there was an error because a guy dropped a pop-up out on foul territory, but the guy later got out? And there was a discussion in the chat. We had a lively discussion, but guys looked it up, and it actually is a perfect game because it's no one reached base.
When you mentioned that, I think back to
the Tiger game
picture that was.
We brought that up last night too, and that was a discussion.
Oh my
God! I had a lively debate with the chat last night because I'm pretty passionate about some of these things, and I was thinking, that umpire. I just forgot his name. Mark Graves, you're gonna have to help me again. I just forgot his name.
Dan, did you happen to see what happened the day after? So remember, guy had a perfect game. The umpire made a mistake, so he bought out the lineup card,
right?
And he gave
Joyce.
Joyce, and he hugged Joyce, and Joyce was crying, and he said, "Hey, things happen. Could not have been more classy."
Yeah, it was very classy. Now, what my contention was, had there been replay, would have been a perfect game.
Yeah.
And he got the 28th guy out too, so nothing changed. It wasn't like they went on.
And they tried to go to court to say, why don't you make it a perfect game with an asterisk? Since and they've gone to court, they've tried to change it, but the commissioner wouldn't.
Well, see, my argument last night why they could change it is, think about this: they allowed the Negro League statistics to come into Major League statistics, and they never played Major League Baseball. So you've already made an exception to changing rules. So why can't you just say, you know what? This was an unusual circumstance. Replay clearly showed he was out. It wasn't even close. It wasn't even bang, bang. It was just a brain fog, and, the game, had the next pitch batter got a hit, you can't do anything about it because it's part of the game. But I was just thinking, man, poor Jim Joyce, the guy's still living. Wouldn't it be great to free the guy of that? And then Galarraga gets it. There's only been 24, 25 perfect games in the history of baseball. Man, and I understand you change one. Now it's like, okay, you opened up Pandora's box. Now you go, what about this guy? How about this? You did this at the end of this game was, why don't you give him a hit?
St. Louis and Kansas City in the World Series.
Right. That was brought up too.
Sure.
And but you know what? You can't go back and say, well, they won.
Yeah, no, I think you bring a good point. I would do it like, maybe
it's a personal thing. It's just an individual account.
That's interesting. If you bring up the history of baseball, there are so many controversial plays at first base. Think about it. How many controversial plays have there been at second base or third base? Plenty at home plate because it's involving a run scoring, but not much at third and second base. Yeah, it always seems to be first base, like a call is like really blatantly missed.
Yeah. Have you guys seen what college baseball's doing with their first base?
Yeah.
They've got 2 first base.
Yeah. So
there's one for the runner, so there's no collisions.
You don't get hurt.
Yeah.
Smart move.
It's
saves the ankles.
I thought tonight was a key point in tonight's game. and it was a smart play. Let me pull up the play that I'm talking about because it was late in the game. It was in the – was it the – maybe it wasn't late in the game. Maybe it was the fourth or fifth inning. Let me look. Hold on a second. Yaz was on base, and in the fifth inning they scored, right? A couple runs.
One in the fifth.
Yaz, okay. Yaz. Okay, it was the fifth inning. Yaz reached on an infield single, went off the pitcher's glove, Lorenzen. He would have been out because Witt would have got him if he didn't touch it, but he did. Yaz gets on. Next batter, Flores grounds into a fielder's choice to first.
Well, it would have been a double play.
Yes. Pasquantino, I thought this was brilliant by Pasquantino's a lefty, right?
Yep.
Okay. Think about this. This is the little things. This tells me Yaz is a smart player. What did Yaz do? He ran on the inside closest to the grass. So Pasquantino would have either had to throw it to his right side, which would have been tough, and he made him throw it on the left. He didn't have a clear shot at the base because Yaz was right in the path of the base, and so he threw it wide, and it went into left field. That was brilliant. Had Yaz given him a clear path, if he ran 2-3 feet to the right instead of toward the grass, the infield grass, he throws it to second. It's a double play. But because of the way he ran, that turned out to be the decisive run, because that was the third run the Giants got. So little things like that. And I don't know if you guys have seen some of the little things in baseball, but there was one I showed about a month ago, and I'm trying to remember the player's name. It was can't remember if he was with Minnesota. No, he was with the Tigers. Who's the shortstop with the Tigers
right now?
Yeah, starts with an S, I think. Let me look. Tigers.
Sweeney.
Thank you. Sweeney made an unbelievable play. There was a ball that it was I'm trying to remember. I think it was like an infield liner, and the runner on second had to scramble back to second base so he doesn't get doubled off. The throw comes from the second baseman, and he throws it into left field. Okay. But it's not left field. It's more between third base and left field. So the left fielder's has to run like 150 to 200 feet just to get to the ball. And Sweeney's sitting there as the runner had dove back into second. Sweeney's sitting there holding the tag on him like, you get up, you're out. And he's holding the glove on him. You know how they do that? And they just like, don't get off the bag. So the guy never left, and then he finally turns. He turns around and he sees the balls, and he's just like, oh, crap. But brilliant play by Sweeney. That's the kind of baseball that wins you games. And where are the Tigers at right now, guys?
First
Best
place
record in baseball.
I'm telling you, I've mentioned this before.
And we'll see them on a road trip. We'll see them on the road trip. It's going to be tough.
Yeah. See what they got. I'm looking at these shots in the dugout when the camera, zooms in on the dugout. Guys they're not paying attention to the game. They're just they're talking to each other. They're looking down maybe at their phone, whatever. I'm telling you, somebody needs to do a hidden ball. It'll work. Like, have a meeting at the mound. The pitcher slides the ball to the first baseman. Let the guy get a lead. Let's do a Bad News Bears in the Astrodome and tag him out. I'm telling you, it'll work, man. People are not paying attention. Nobody's going to catch it, and somebody's going to get caught. Somebody do it. If any major leaguer is hearing this, please try it. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. What do you have to lose? Why not? Could be in a key moment in a game.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. When Ramos got picked off at third, he had done that and not slid, he would have scored
in the
a
ninth
run.
inning.
Yeah. Ramos has got to learn to look more at his coaches. You got to have more teaching going on, because Ramos, that day game, that Sunday afternoon where he hit the Little League home run to where he hit and he was just going to stop at second. And he was never looking over at Matt Williams, and Williams was waving him on, but Ramos is just thinking like, oh, I'll just jog. And then he turns it on as he looks over and he starts to round second and turns it on. A good throw probably gets him out. But it's offline. It goes down, and the rest is history. He scores, but you got to
again basics, small things. That's why you have the coaches there.
Who was the Oakland A that didn't slide and made Jeter look like an absolute
Giambi
god? Was it Jeremy?
It was Giambi. Yeah.
It wasn't Jason. It was Jeremy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, where was the guy on deck, like telling him to slide? Like
he was already partying like the game was over. Like he was all excited.
Jeremy did have a reputation.
Yeah.
I mean, do you notice another thing that I notice? I see sometimes they'll show. Now, if I'm at the game, I'll notice it more. But I'm looking at the on deck circle, and I see guys that are, they're just not even completely ready to get at the plate. They're putting their gloves on, and they're. When I was playing, I would get in the batter's box, and I would actually time, just get in the batter's stance, and I would try to time up the pitcher. I just wanted to see what he had. I'm seeing some guys
talking about in the batting circle.
In the batting circle.
Yeah. And
I'm watching what he's got, and I'm seeing, what like checking his wind up where it is. So I get in there. So I'm not, because you didn't always see the same pitcher when you were growing up. So
no. And they would talk to you the first time around. They would say, "Hey, Dan, the guy's got a real good curveball. Be ready."
Right.
You know what I mean? Just to prepare you for a guy that maybe struck out or did something before.
Right. Exactly.
We're talking about the Giants struggling against left-handed pitching and not guys that throw hard, but Kirk Reeder type of pitchers. And the book is out on the Giants hitters. Like when they have lefties on the mound, they're going to have a predominantly right-handed lineup, and they just got a lot of guys that are pull heavy. And the book is, the scouting report's out. You don't need to throw 98, 97. Just throw soft stuff, aim on the outside part of the plate. They're going to try to pull it. They're going to roll grounder to second and short. They have got to fix that. You have to have
very
an
soft
field approach.
Very soft. It is, weak grounders is short.
It is
weak grounders
common sense in I'm not going to say little league, but once you actually start playing high school ball, your coach is going to be all over you if you keep rolling out to like that. So I can't believe at the professional level, the hitting coach, and honestly, themselves should know, okay, they're pitching me away. I'm going to step up on the box and I'm going to go to right center. I'm going to go to right field with this. And they don't. That's frustrating to see that over and over and over again. And it's not just Chapman. It's Adames too. It's
these weak ground balls. Do you think that there's a problem at home, Lou? What's happening? Women. What's happening? Women
legs. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where even the other night when they beat a lefty, when Ramos hit the home run to start off the game, what was that, Sunday's game against the A's? Yeah. They had the home run, and the next 21 guys all went out against a lefty. And then they got lucky to win it late. If you remember that on Sunday's game, Ramos led the game. First pitch was a homer, and then the next 21 guys all went out.
They got to win tomorrow, and guess what? Kansas City has not named a starter yet, but do you think it's going to be a lefty probably that throws soft stuff?
Well,
why not?
That would be a good move. I really like this girl, Mick. I'm really crazy.
Let her train you.
Let her train. Listen, hey, let me see if I can do
my time. You no good bum.
Hey, Rock. Hey, Rock. Take her to the zoo. Take her to the zoo.
Oh,
The
that
driver
dude was classic.
Let me tell you something, Bolly.
That dude in the car was classic. I heard she's a retard, Rock. Take her to the zoo, man.
Take her to the zoo.
Take her to the zoo. Hey, Polly. Doc recommend I don't fight. I recommend I do.
Hey, Rock. Hey, Rock. When you get out of surgery and you're feeling okay, I got and you made some money. I got some investments for you. Yeah, like what? Yeah, condominiums.
I don't wear them.
I never use them. There's some classic writing in those Rocky movies. Let me tell you,
man,
it's more than just boxing, man.
There's some great lines in some of the movies. I remember Father of the Bride. You guys ever Steve Martin meets his
the first one, yeah.
First one, his daughter goes, oh, he's getting married, and they're leaving, and he goes, oh, don't forget to fasten your condom. I mean your seatbelt.
Hey, I'm telling you, Dan, if you go on this road trip, if this does happen with Cliff and Will and Aaron and myself, and we go to Tampa for
Football?
Niners Tampa, yeah, I'm warning you now. You better up your IQ for Scarface, because there's going to be quotes left and right for that movie. If you're hanging around these guys, it is hilarious because we all love that movie.
Oh man. Well, I'm going to have to end this. I'm getting a knot in my leg. My nerve is in my thigh. It feels like I can barely walk, like a Charlie horse.
Dan, so tomorrow, your surgical day, we win the series. Webb pitches solid. Do you think it's going to be tough?
Is Webb pitching tomorrow?
Yeah.
Really? I just looked at it. Was it Webb?
They gotta win. They gotta win the series with their ace on the mound, and
gotta win. You sure it's Webb?
To be determined. Yeah, I think it is Webb. I think I did see Webb.
Let me look. Tomorrow, Wednesday. It is. Yeah, Webb. Okay, he's facing. I don't know. Undecided. Undecided might be tough.
Yeah.
So, I will. Webb has been pitching great, man. He's been he's right at the top of the Cy Young Award winner. My sleeper, my hot take this year was Robbie Ray will finish in the top 10 in the National League Cy Young Award. And I think the way he's pitching, he's in the top 5. Guys is he 5-0 or 6-0? Did he get the win the other day? Or
he pitched last night.
He didn't get the win. Yeah, no runs though he gave up. Yeah.
Would you trade him for Luis Robert right now, Lou, Dan?
No, but I'll tell you who we didn't talk about. You know who I think might get traded because he's going to be a free agent next year? Yaz.
Really?
Solid outfielder. I think could be one of those things where, I don't want him back next year. I mean, he's solid for what it is, but do you want to pay him, next year a raise, $11.5 million? Or can you use that money productively?
Aaron says I lit a fire under Webb, which is very possible because I said he's not an ace. But I'll tell you who really lit a fire under him. Do we have our names when we remove the names? Do we have Mr. Salty up there? Yes. Mr. Salty said he got personal. He said he's got a kid now. He's not going to be he's not going to be focused. It's kind of like Ryan. What was you guys have heard of the thing?
It's only 1/3 of the year. Let's see how he goes.
Have you guys heard that little deal going on? Did you guys hear about that one?
I didn't hear about it.
Oh, check it out. Just look up RG3 and Ryan Clark. Ryan Clark's calling out RG3 because he made a take on the Peyton Clark Angel Reese thing and saying Reese hates Clark. And so Ryan Clark's going out and saying he doesn't know what black women go through because RG3 is married to a white woman. So he's bringing that in. Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Everybody's got a mic.
Yep.
All right, Dan. Well, listen, beside me and Lois in the chat, good luck tomorrow on your surgery. Yeah. Obviously, we're not doing a show tomorrow. Hopefully the Giants can bring you a W, and then we'll bounce back Friday
Yeah.
since they're off on Thursday.
Yeah. Yep. We'll bounce
Absolutely.
back Friday. So
You
guys,
got this. You got this, Danny. You got it.
thank you. Yeah, I hope it goes well because I'm in pain, man. I got to get out of pain here. You want to get these cookies. There's the QR code, guys. 20% off your first order. Bake that dough made by Aaron's lost own wife there. Here's the cookies. We've got all kinds. These cinnamon toast ones, I'm telling you, I can tell just by feeling the texture and the look of them. You're going to want to order those. So,
Great stuff. Great stuff.
Go ahead and scan that QR code. Take you right to where you need to go to get your order in. 20% off first order. So bake that dough. And thank you, Philip. Appreciate that.
Perfect
Thank
for
you, Robert.
Father's Day. Father's
so
Day's
much.
in 6 weeks. Perfect.
Thanks,
Get
Tom.
the cookies for the old man.
Thank you so much.
You know, when you go to Costco is smart. They'll put out stuff and you try it, and
The
you
samples.
did not go to the
Yep.
you did not go to the store with the intention of buying something. They put it out there, you taste it. Where is that?
It's over.
What aisle is that on? And you buy them. You try these cookies one time, you're gonna have a repeat order. Trust me.
Yep. Absolutely. Rinse and repeat. All right,
Yep.
everybody. Have a great night. We'll see you Friday.